So this class is just continuing from the previous one, where we're just talking about probabilities. And we're now looking at the probability that we're getting people who like vanilla and lime, you know, and we said it's represented as follows. So once we see where it falls in our Venn diagram, it's quite very easy to then calculate it. Vanilla and lime is then going to be equal to 11 over 62. Right. So we're now going to look at a different problem. Where we're looking at people who like vanilla and lime, but not raspberry. So now, you know, we're just looking at people who like vanilla and lime, but not raspberry. So we're looking at these people. This is how we would write it down. What question is this? Oh, sorry. So we're looking at people who like vanilla and lime, but they do not like raspberry, but not raspberry. And that would just be 6 out of 62. Then we're now going to look at people We're now going to look at people who do not like vanilla. Oh my goodness. The people who do not like vanilla. These are the people who do not like vanilla. We're looking at the people who do not like vanilla. So we're looking at, oh, sorry, people who do not like vanilla. We're basically looking at this. I even feel like I should increase my highlighter. People who do not like vanilla. So we're basically shading everything and just leaving vanilla. This is, yeah. Okay. Basically looking at people who do not like vanilla. It basically looks like that. You guys try to put a numerical value of that.
Uh, 34 over 62.
How did you calculate that? 34 over 64. So you said the people who like.
62.
Oh, okay, so you said 34 over 62, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But did you calculate it this way?
7 plus 3 plus 2, 13 plus 7.
That is correct, 34 over 62. But remember, we have once said that this could be the probability of not liking. Is just the probability 1 minus the probability that they like it. And that would have been 1 minus, what's the probability that they like vanilla? 9 plus 6 plus 5 plus 8 divided by 62. What's that?
It's 28 plus.
Am I making a mistake here? This is 17 over 31 to me. Not sure if you guys are getting something different.
Sorry, sir, I have a question.
Okay, just before I answer that, can I just make sure that this makes sense? So this is also 17 over 31. So those probabilities are the same, right? You can use this rule, which we call a complementary rule. I've said it before, or you can just analytically do that. Yes, I'm taking a question now.
Oh no, so iphendlile because ndibonile i-calculator yami i-answer ngu-17 over 31.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much the same. Probably why you should simplify your probabilities.
Okay.
Everyone following from that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Let's go for this one. The probability that they like exactly one flavor. Exactly one flavor. Firstly, this is F. Oh, this would look like exactly one flavor. So it's either they like vanilla, like that, or they just like lime, like that, or they just like raspberry. So I think for me, the trickiest part, learning this from school and doing stats, was that as engineers, we don't deal as much as with probabilities and things like that. I did stats one, I did one stats course at varsity. The problem that I had was that if I'm gonna say the probability that like exactly one, why am I adding the probability of vanilla and raspberry and lime? Why can't I just take the probability? You know, but yeah, probability is the likelihood of it happening. So you need to collect everything that adds to that likelihood. That's the answer to my own question right now. So that's gonna be the probability of vanilla only, or the probability of lime only, or probability of raspberry only. So we're gonna add. So it's 9 over 62 plus 11 over 62. It's 13 over 62. My throat is so hectic. Oh my goodness.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I said yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear
It's
me?
because you keep on breaking from my side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
1 minute I hear you, the next minute I cannot.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Excuse me, guys. Can Ayabukwa hear me now?
Are
Can
you
you,
saying something?
yes, I was asking if could you hear me now?
Yes, so but there's a ngathi kunetsalekayo at the back.
I don't
The
know.
sound.
Can you guys hear the same sound?
I hear you
No,
clearly,
sir.
sir. No,
I
sir.
also hear you clearly, sir.
So
Could be my network.
yeah, it's
Maybe
likely to be
no.
just network. Yeah. Okay, so this now is becoming quite very easy. And, you know, I remember in grade 4 learning how to add fractions. They say if it's the same denominator, we just add like that. That's going to give us 33. So you can see where this is going now. Do you wanna try this one? Guys, the homework is due today, right? Yes, it's not for marks, but remember that could have been a tart. It's just that I chose not to make it a tart, so not to give you pressure. But it could have been a tart. It was gonna be a tart, basically. That was tart 1. Don't subtract your learning. What's this? Remember, we give you these things so that you can engage with them and learn. Don't take away your own learning. So we say exactly 2 here. So we're going to be looking at what's going on. We're going to be looking at this section. And we're going to be looking, these are exactly 2 flavors that have been left here. And, you know, online. And you guys can calculate that. I'm actually focusing on how do you write this. This is going to be the probability of a lime and the probability of vanilla. Yes, but not raspberry. That's this first part. You can say plus right away, or you can say O. The probability of vanilla and raspberry, but not lime. Right? And we have the third one there. It's very important that you know this notation, because if they give you the notation and you don't know how it looks like in the Venn diagram, you're not going to be able to go read it. And I think, guys, the other tricky thing that you guys don't follow is that when I give you a homework, not everything in the homework you're going to know. Like, for instance, the homework that was there had independent events, and I knew you not going to be able to know it. But once you engage with it, makes you understand the following lesson better, because you were stuck at that point. And I do it deliberately most of the time. Looking at lime and raspberry, but not vanilla. The last 2 are for homework, and I will send homework in a moment. I feel like this is grade 11 stuff, by the way, and I feel like finishing it. I think anyone who gets contingency table would normally know them. I feel like contingency tables are easy. I won't talk about them though. I was going to teach them, but let me just get the spelling correct.
So,
Yeah.
what does the last question say?
Hey, even me, I don't know. Let me check what I was saying. I can't see what I wrote. Oh, likes at most 2 flavors.
Thank you, sir.
Now I'll take a break from this probability
Excuse me,
thing.
sir, is that letter I?
Yes.
Can I please see that, please?
What?
The last question, I don't have it.
It's in the screen right now.
Shifted to.
So yeah, I probably want to end, but I want to do, okay, yeah, let me just give you this as,
Sir,
yes.
do we do, I wasn't here for the rest of the classes, so did we do 3 diagrams because I struggle with it?
Yes, we started off with them.
And did sir record it?
Did I record? No, it was part of the first lesson. So before this lesson, there was already an introduction to probability. After that, there was a lesson on tree diagrams. And then this was Venn diagrams. So no, it's not recorded.
Can I at least get the notes if there was?
I mean, you can talk to me, we can go over it, or we can even go over it now. But before I do that, maybe I might not be able to go over it now, but you can definitely talk to me. Then we can, because I think it's just important to just go over it with me.
Okay.
So I just wanna, so I'm gonna pause now just to make people reflect where we are at. Algebra is something that you guys, I see a lot of you guys are struggling with algebra. Okay, let me just do this first. Is everyone understanding what we've done so far, except the issue of the diagrams that I might have to come back to later? Is everyone happy?
Sir, if you have a class with Yolanda on 3 diagrams, can I join? Because I also sort of struggle with 3 diagrams.
So the approach would probably have to be different. Do you want to help Yolanda go through 3 diagrams the way I did? And then when we have a class with Yolanda, I brush up, but then we do a bunch of questions.
Okay, sir.
Would that work for Yolanda?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Shana, I'll hold you responsible to organizing that class, finding out when I'm available, also finding out when Yolanda is available and when the class can be.
Okay, sir. But it won't be tomorrow or Sunday.
That's fine by me. You are finishing probability on Tuesday at most, and that following Sunday, you're likely to write an exam for paper 1 from me.
Okay.
Can see Asa's face there. Yeah. Anyone who has chapters that they haven't done and things like that, they will have to talk to me, and we just have to work as a team and trying to get those things done. I'm having people, I'm not sure if I have my assignments now. Okay, they left with a friend of mine. She thought it was her papers. Oh, I have the tests though. I have the tests. I just want to help guys. Every time when I can do this, I want to do this. There's this tendency of maybe having something like this. I saw this multiple times from different students. Or maybe for this one, but yeah, the person would say x is equal to 0 or x is equal to -2, but they will say x is not equal to -2. What's happening there? It happens a lot. If I can show you one paper, it just happens a lot. Where I'm just like, you would have gotten full marks. You just said the other solution is not valid. I did get that a lot. Okay, none of the guys that I hear did that. Right, I just have your papers, and actually, I don't know when, I just felt like it was important to go over the test. But anyway, there was that, and then there was Shana, you had something like this, and you just chose to square this part.
Me, sir.
Yes. On the test.
Don't you take, but then I realized I was supposed to take it over.
Yeah, and then square both sides even.
Yes, sir.
Ayabuka can't hear us, but everyone else can hear me. It's very tricky. Okay, guys, do you have questions? If you guys don't have questions, I'll end the class there then.
Sir, can you please explain the exponential thing? Because I was so stuck at the question that I asked you. I tried going over.
Explain
The
what?
Anna with the 4, the sum under the top 4.
Just give me a second, something I have to attend to. I'll get back to you in a second.
Samahle,
Mm,
seple hloko.
thank you. COVID, very nice.
Huh?
Say COVID,
Hey, Bo, you can see me.
my favorite virus.
Love you, Yolanda.
Back.
Don't.
Okay, let's see. Just remind me of a question and probably tell me if you've sent it to me.
So I sent it to you, I think. Really easy. Really easy.
Oh. Sorry. this one. There are 4 in front there.
The 4 is for the root.
Oh, it's the 4th root. Oh, okay. The way you wrote it, it's those things. It's very important. I have the worst handwriting, right? And so Shana asked me, what's the last sentence? What does it mean? And I didn't know, right? That's what happens if you don't write things carefully, is that while you're working, then you want to reference to something that you wrote, written earlier, and you interpret it differently. So writing it properly is very important. I'll ask you a strange question. When you look at this question, do you have hope? Some hope, Anyana. I mean, when I look at a question like this, I get hope, because within the question, there's something that I can recognize. What can you recognize within this question? What's this?
Oh,
Okay, so anyway, the first way, I'm not supposed to do what I'm doing. Now I'm solving the problem for you. This is 19 plus square root 7. The first thing, sort of like deal with that square root, because it's not really nice to deal with the square root. I think I got stuck as well when I was solving this problem. Did I get stuck? No, I didn't. What happened? I looked at it and I was like, there's something messed up about it. I think I resolved it. Oh yes, I resolved it. Some of these problems, I've set them a while ago. So when I look at them, I'm like, wow. So I highlighted you to an exponent rule that says AX times BX is equal to A times BX. Did that click to you? Did it click how you might potentially use that?
So does it become bracket square root of 19 plus 3 and then times the square root of 19 minus the square root of 3 and then bracket 1 to the power of 1 over 4?
Yes, are you saying the whole entire thing? So it's gonna look something like this. Yes, but inside now you have difference of 2 squares. So you basically have 19, you just actually have 19 minus 3 raised to the power half, like that. Yes, this is correct. Which is like 16.
So what happened to the positive bracket? Oh, never mind.
Difference of 2 squares, right?
And
So we were going in that direction.
Also, I'm lost. I'm really lost.
No difference of 2
also,
squares.
do you simplify it to the simplest answer?
Yeah. They want you to evaluate it. I want you to evaluate it.
Okay, so it is 2. Okay. I thought Asia.
Yolanda,
Yes.
you have the square root of the fourth root times another fourth root to some whatever that's inside.
Mm-hmm.
First, interpret what the fourth root is. That's when we raised it to the power 1/4. Both of these, we
Yes.
raised them to the power 1/4. But we said if they are both to the same power, we can just take the power to be the absolute power, like we multiply them and say they are raised to the power of a fourth, like what we have there.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Then from here, we have this that we call, when you have something like this difference between the two squares, the way it simplifies, it's this way. So you can see in what's happening here, this is like our square root 19, this is like our square root 19, this is like our square root 3, this is like our square root 3. If we go to that side, it just becomes, 19
1.
squared minus 3 square root 3, square root 3 squared. So it just becomes that and that. And then we must not
Yes.
forget that we've raised it to that. And then that comes and becomes that again. Then we can evaluate that.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yes. These are the questions that you'll find in your number 3 of your, when we set a paper, when we set a paper, if you go to any school, when we set 1.3 or 1.4, the last question in question 1, we set it in such a way that no one gets it. You guys have seen it. It's probably not that no one gets it. Shana, don't be serious. You're gonna make me feel guilty now. Shana is looking at me with a serious face. Like, you're setting it so that no one gets it. But I don't think that's the point. I think when we set a paper, we need to set papers so that are in different levels. And we normally put the highest level in the last question of question 1. Guys, I'm dying. I'm teaching tomorrow. Do you have any other questions or done?
Sir,
Yes.
Sean and I got stuck at question.
I have 3 minutes left in this class, and chances are I'm not gonna make another one. So can you please,
Question 10.
question 10, what is it asking?
10 and question 8.
What are they
Second
asking?
part of the assignment. Let
Sure.
me quickly go to
The number patterns, sir.
Did you guys do the tat first? The 7 tats? Are the 7 tats done?
Sir, must we do all the 7 thoughts before we do?
If you
The
wanna
assignment.
pass, do that. Simple.
But sir, how will we do all 7 thoughts before Sunday? And the assignment must be in
You do that
Sunday.
in one day if you wanna pass.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sir, you're killing us softly.
As we time our smile, we time the laughter. Someone comes, look at the go, you know, they make a joke. You're like, I can't laugh this long. Let me go work. You see, it's very precise. Is it done? I say, Shana, done. Ayabuku, done. You're left with 7.1. Tat 7. You will see that the first tat, it's all the examples that I've made in class. The second tat is most of the examples that I've made in class. Then tat 3, that's where you start disappearing. I'm left with 1 minute to answer Ayabuka's question.
Good night, sir.
Hey, Banda, what's going on now? Is it the tats or is it the time?
It's the time. And
You, when you don't want to pass the assignment, ne?
you sir, I just can't find it.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Guys, I'll hear from you
Yima,
too.
sir, where did you send the assignment?
In the group. I haven't uploaded it. But
Yeah,
I'm left with
Nah.
0.3 minutes. You know.
No, sir, I had you check the group. I always go to the
Okay.
class.
No, that's your biggest mistake. Please look at the group. You cannot not look at the group. It's mandatory. Hey, but let me leave this way.
Mandatory.
It's important. I do that every time when I'm typing. I'm like, it's
So
Monday.